All right. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining Dan and I on this Votacall 1 webinar. We're back at it after taking a break for the holidays. With that said, I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season. Today's topic is voicemail, which I thought was going to be, people might have found would be a boring topic and weren't going to get a big turnout, but you guys have showed us otherwise. We got a pretty decent turnout for this one. I think this is our second largest turnout, Dan.
I do believe that's true when we looked back at the numbers. And again, I too was, as we started to go through this and said, hey, let's look at voicemail and really let everybody know kind of all the different options that were out there. I think we were on with Andy, who's our COO, and he was very well, there's a lot here. There's a lot to kind of unpack. So bear with us as we unpack all this for you guys today and show you, all the different things that ways that messaging can help you out.
Absolutely. Some introductions. I'm Kyle. I'm a project manager of Votacall. I onboard brand new customers, and I see a lot of familiar names here. And with always with us is Dan.
Well, yeah. Yes, always. 21 plus years now with Votacall and still going strong. I've done a little bit of everything. Currently, my role is pre-sales engineering. So thanks for coming, everybody.
Yep. Since we did have a pretty big turnout for this one, we're going to give folks a couple minutes to join. But while we wait, we're going to go over a few housekeeping items. In the bottom right corner of your screen, you have a questions tab. So as we go through, if you have any questions, feel free to submit your questions. Only Dan and I can see your questions, and we'll answer questions as we go through. And we'll take time at the end to make sure we answer any questions that we may have missed. Right next to the questions tab is a polls tab, and we encourage everybody to hop in the polls tab and let us know what you want to learn more about, and we'll be back next month with another webinar. And we have a new link. If you don't see the links tab, you can click on the apps tab, and there'll be a links option. We added our links there, so you can click on the links, go right to our My Votacall portal, go to our webinar page where you can see our previous webinars and register for our upcoming webinars. Access to our support there as well, and our training video library. So hop over in the links, take a look, and they're there for you to click on and take a look at. A couple reminders. We'd like to remind folks that this is these webinars aren't so much a training, but more or less showing you the capabilities and the features of the Votacall 1 system. So as we go through, if you see anything that piques your interest and you want to have a more in-depth conversation, please submit a ticket to support@votacall.com, and we'll be glad to schedule a time to have a chat with you and see what we can do for you.
We just had a question come in, Kyle. We actually use a company called Livestorm for our webinars. So that's who it is, and we were very happy to see that they added a links feature here. We've always had a little a slide here that you'll see later on that has our links on it. But yes, that's who we use.
Excellent. Well, I guess we'll jump right into the voicemail. So what are we learning today? Well, we're going to learn voicemail. We'll do an overview. We'll take a look at the features. We'll go over some tips and tricks, and of course, we'll have a slide with our resources and training materials. But again, that links tab is there for you as well. So the three components of voicemail, I'm going to let Dan go over these components.
Okay. Well, so I'm sure you all use voicemail. I'm sure many of you are using voicemail to email at this point. Maybe some of you have our transcription turned on, et cetera. But so what are the components of voicemail and what is voicemail? Well, you've got your greetings section of voicemail, which is going to answer the phone when you're not available. And then you have multiple greetings or multiple options for greetings. And we'll show you some of that today, some of the places where you can build that out and manage that. So that's the first phase. The next phase is the client or customer or patient or whatever it is that you refer to your folks as, and they're leaving you a message. So that's that ability to go ahead and to tell you what it is that they want to get to you. And last but not least is how do you find out about that? Well, there's the good old fashioned red light on your phone. As I just mentioned, you've got your voicemail to email. We are going to show you lots of other ways to do that as well. Whether it's to, we'll get into it in a few minutes. We're also going to show you a new way to be notified of a message that's waiting. So Kyle, next slide.
All right, so what are the voicemail features? We're going to go show these features in the portal and kind of give more of an in-depth explanation on these, but you can, of course, disable your voicemail. There's a personal operator feature. There's a voicemail copy to extensions. Of course, there's the notifications and alerts aspect of voicemail, the greetings, voicemail retrieval, voicemail to email, and visual voicemail. So once again, we'll once we hop in the portal, we'll show you guys these features and explain them a little bit more. We have a new feature, which I'm pretty excited about this one. Here at Votacall, we take pride in listening to our customers. As some of you may know, we've been in business for over 20 years. And we had a feature called outcalling on one of our legacy phone systems, which we're finally able to bring back on our new system here. For example, I onboarded a doctor's office last year who had this outcalling feature, and we had to come up with a different workaround. But once we got this feature back, I was able to call that doctor's office, let them know we have the feature back. We demoed it, tested it, and they loved it. So we're able to re-enable that for them. So we're going to hop in the portal here, and we're going to actually show you this feature. We'll explain it a little bit more as we go through it.
Oh, and Kyle, we just got a question, although I really wouldn't call it a question, but Julie says, yay, outcalling. So, yeah.
There we go. Awesome. All right. So how do we get started? Well, we're going to log right into the portal at myvotacall.com. Again, that is right in the links tab. So I'm going to turn off my camera to show my screen. And we'll do a feature review, we'll do a voicemail management overview, and we're going to demo that new feature as well.
Okay, and we just got another question here, so it's a great question. Chad asked, when I push the reject button on my desk phone for an incoming call, does it send the call to voicemail? It depends on what devices you have registered. So when you press that reject button, if you have other devices that are active, those other devices may continue to ring. So if you don't have another device, meaning you're not logged into the web phone or you're not logged into your mobile client, then yes, it will send it directly to voicemail.
Good questions. Excellent. All right. So here we are in the myvotacall.com portal. Once I log into my portal, I land on my home tab. And right off the back, I have access to my visual voicemail. So this depends if you have the voicemail, depending on how you have voicemail alerts set up. So if you have it set to leave as new, you're going to see your new voicemails here. And I can play and listen to it. I can have it call me so I can listen to it. I can forward it. I can download the voicemail, I can read the transcription, I can save it, and of course I can delete it. If I click on new voicemail messages right up here, it'll bring me right to my messages tab where I can also read the voicemail. And again, another way for my visual voicemail, have all the same options here as you just saw on my home screen. Now that we're here on the messages tab, we have a chat feature here too. We're going to maybe cover this one in the future webinar, but chat allows you to chat internally, send each other basically instant messages. And we use this for our SMS texting feature. Again, we're going to cover that in a future webinar. If we come back over here to voicemail, actually, I want to show you your different options here. So you have your new voicemails. You have your saved voicemails. If you have any in your saved mailbox, as you'll see, I have several here. And you can also look at your trash, anything that may have been deleted, it'll be in your trash can. So those different ways that you can. What's that?
Only for 24 hours.
Only for 24 hours. Here in our settings tab. So this is where we're going to go over the features that we saw on the slide with the bullet points and also demo that new feature we have. So here you have enable or disable voicemail. So if you uncheck that, you have disabled your voicemail. If you check it, it's enabled again. That easy. These options here are how, when you dial into your voicemail box on your phone, what is it alerting you about that voicemail? So it can sort the voicemail by voicemail by latest first, or it'll always be the oldest voicemail first. It'll announce the voicemail receive time and also the incoming caller ID. So if you check these boxes, it'll update how your voicemail box alerts you of the voicemails as you dial in. You have the operator forward option, which is a pretty neat feature here. So in your voicemail greeting, you say, I've reached Kyle, please leave me a message, or press 0 to return to perhaps the operator or the main menu, or if you have an answering service, you can put the phone number there. So you'd put the extension number of the person, auto attendant, receptionist, or the phone number of the answering service right in that field and click save. You have the option to copy your voicemails to other extensions. So here we see that if somebody were to leave this extension of voicemail, it's actually going to copy the extension to Dan as well. And if you hit the green plus sign, you can add other extensions in which that voicemail will copy to as well. So that'll appear to those users as a brand new voicemail too. Voicemail transcription will always be enabled. That's for your voicemail to email. Then we have a couple other neat options here too. If you have your voicemail set to leave as new, your mailbox will eventually get full. So when your mailbox does get full, you'll receive an email alerting you that your mailbox is full, so you can go in there and actually clear those out. Another neat little feature here that sales folks and real estate folks might find interesting is send email after missed call. So if somebody calls you, you're perhaps away from your desk or on the road, and you missed that call, you'll actually get an email with that person's caller ID information. So you can give them a call back as needed. Okay. Here we have our greeting section, and you can have multiple voicemail greetings and select which one you want callers to hear. So here you can play your voicemail greeting, hear which one is currently set. You can download it, and you can manage your voicemail greetings here. So I'm going to click this manage button. You see we have 3 different voicemail greetings here. I can edit these, I can download them or delete them, or I can add a new greeting, which I'm going to do here. And my favorite is the text-to-speech engine. All you have to do is simply type in what you want your voicemail greeting to say, select a voice. I recommend playing the voice. And once you find a voice that you like, you click save. That easy. You can upload a voicemail greeting. So if you have a recording, saved somewhere, or some folks like to use the Recorder app or our Voice Memos app on their cell phone to do recording, you can email it to yourself and simply upload it. And of course, you can record a voicemail. You can have it call you at your extension or your cell phone number. You click the call button, it'll call you. You follow the prompts to set up your voicemail greeting. And that is it. Once you have a great greeting set, again, you just select which one you want callers to hear.
Kyle, I'm just going to interrupt quickly. We had a question, and I also just wanted to make a comment. If you want to go back up to where it says operator, we have quite a few folks who like to use that field and actually put their cell phone in there. So you can leave a message that says, I'm in the office today. If you'd like to try to reach me on my cell phone, please press X, right? Or maybe they say they're out of the office if you'd like to try to reach me on my cell phone. We like to think that everybody would just use the Votacall Go mobile app, but we do know that sometimes that's not the case. So you can just put a cell phone in there. And then sorry, I just pulled a name up here. So Rick just asked, why would I copy a voicemail to another extension? Maybe for vacation, or we have a lot of like partner and admin relationships where the partner wants their voicemails copied down to their admin. And I will be showing you guys that in just a few minutes. That's those messages. As we go through this, we're going to show you a message, and I'll show you what that email looks like. You can very quickly distinguish that message was for somebody else, even though, because it'll follow my rules. So if I'm getting voicemail to email, it'll move on down to there. Okay, that's it.
Yep, good questions. And then down here underneath greetings, we have our notification section. So this is how you're going to be alerted of your voicemails. So if you have received email from new voicemail, of course, you're going to receive an email. If you don't have that checked, you're only going to get the voicemail on your phone only. So once I check that box, we have a few options on how you receive that email or your voicemail. It can have a hyperlink or brief hyperlink that brings you to the portal to listen to it. Or you can have it set up with an attachment. So it'll send a WAV file attachment on the email so you can play it and listen to that voicemail from your email, along with the transcription that'll be in the body of the email. Then you have a few options after you receive that email. If you have it set to leave as new, that means you're going to get the voicemail to your email, and it'll also be on your phone as a new voicemail. It'll indicate a new voicemail on your web phone, your Votacall Go mobile app, and of course your desk phone. If you have it set to move to save, it'll send you that email, but put that voicemail in your saved folder, and you're not going to get that badge icon like you have a brand new voicemail. Then the last option is move to trash, which means you're only going to get that voicemail to email, and that's it. No indication or no voicemail in your mailbox, just the email. Now, if we have it set to leave as new, we need it to have the email notification set to leave as new to show you that new feature. the new voicemail reminders, which is actually a phone notification. And this is actually a great, great tool. So if you have a phone notification set up, you can have a phone number here, and you can add another phone number, and you set the interval as how often it's going to call you. So if somebody leaves you a voicemail, it's going to call these phone numbers every 5, 10, 20, or 30 minutes, depending on how you set it up, until you actually play and listen to that voicemail. We had a doctor's office who used this scenario for an on-call. So a doctor had an emergency voicemail box. Callers would call in, leave a message in that emergency mailbox, and then it would call that doctor until he listened to it and did what he needed to do with that voicemail. So we're going to turn this on to demo it. I'm going to save this. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Dan is now going to share his screen.
Okay, and we just had a question from Tracy, and Tracy, you're not crazy. You do not have voicemail reminders active yet. If it is something that you want us to activate, just let us know, and we can reach out to you after this is over. And if it's something you want to turn on and activate, but we can do that for you. We'll show you how it works in just a couple minutes too. We also had another question. I mean, Kyle has mentioned. Someone asked why would we use that instead of just the email? It's a great question. So what we've got is, Kyle mentioned it, so it can replace an answering service. And we're going to go through some case studies in just a few minutes that'll show you some of the places where you might do something like that. But again, HVAC companies, service companies, maintenance folks, at an apartment complex or something along those lines. These are very helpful things, right? Because they're not in their email a lot, but the phone's going to ring, as you'll see, and it's going to force you to listen to that message, or it'll call you back. So it's a very useful feature, and again, something that people have been asking us for. So we're happy to be rolling it out. Okay, sorry, Kyle, go ahead.
You're up, buddy. You're sharing your screen.
Oh, is it my turn?
It's your turn.
All right. So give me 1 sec. Turn off my camera just because that can get a little hairy. And hang on. Okay.
And just as a reminder, as Dan's getting that ready, if you have any questions about anything you've seen so far and you want to have a little bit more in-depth conversation, send an email to support@votacall.com and we'll schedule a time with you.
Okay. So what you guys are looking at here on my screen, and what we wanted to show you is that voicemail extends. Okay, and voicemail extends and voicemail control extends outside of the portal, right? So you've got these numerous different ways to do this. You've got your phone, which I think we're all used to. And there's still quite a few folks who are doing that. They're gonna jump into their phone, listen to their messages, and that's it. They get their light. We just showed you a few other things as well with regards to actually logging into the portal, and you've got your visual voicemail in there, and you can manage your greetings. You've got that whole voicemail page with all of your options. Now what we're going to do is just say, okay, well, let's say you're not in the portal, or you're on the road, or you're one of those folks who is out and about a lot. So where are the other places where you can manage your voicemail? And we've extended that functionality down into our web phone and then down into our mobile client. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a peek here. So first and foremost, on the left, I've got my web phone that's set up, and I'll start with just greetings. Let's start there. So on the left, you can see I've got my contacts, call history, voicemail tab, which is here, right? There's the two messages that Kyle just showed you, and I can look at those. I can read them. I can play them. I can also call and that person back. I can save this voicemail. I can forward it to somebody else or put it in the trash. And as I move down to the left, I've got my greetings. Oh, sorry. I have to remember to do it in the right place. So I've got my greetings. So there's those same greetings that Kyle showed you a minute ago. You've got your default greeting, your vacation greeting, and you've also got this one here that says, please leave a message. Now, if I wanted to activate my vacation greeting, I could come up here, click the check mark, and that one's now active. Okay. If I want to listen to it, I could. If I wanted to go back to this greeting here. So again, you could have it's Monday, it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday. And let's just say you wanted to add a new greeting. You can click the plus here, give the greeting a name, hit record, and it will actually record what you say, and you'll have that greeting, and you can then activate that. Now, if I move over here to the mobile client and I go all the way down at the bottom, first of all, there's my voicemails tab, and I've got that same information. I can listen, I can save, I can call the person back, but if I move all the way over to the right and I hit the three little lines there, the cake, I click there, I can go to my greetings. All right. And then you'll see I've got those same greetings here. Now, please leave a message and I'll get right back to you is the one that's active. But if I wanted to activate the vacation greeting, I could click on that. I can hit select. And now the check mark moves up to that. Okay, if I wanted to reactivate this one, go back down, hit select, and it moves back down. Now, if I wanted to add another one, again, you're going to see that same screen. So I've got the greeting name and then tap to record. So I've got all this capability built right into the mobile client, as well as built into the web phone, as well as built into the portal. And then, of course, the good old fashioned, phone, physical phone itself. And then your users have access to this. So you don't have to be cookie cutter. And I think that that's really what Votacall is all about, is the ability for people to customize things to work the way that they want to. And to function the way that they feel good about. Now, what's going to happen now is we're going to go ahead and I know this is going to be a little confusing, and I apologize for that, but there's really no way around it. But what I'm going to do is Kyle's going to leave a message for this user here. And then we'll view the message pop into voicemail. And then I have the message set to, and I'll show you what that alert looks like because it's going to copy to me. And then it's also set to call into my cell phone, and we'll show you what outcalling looks like. So Kyle, if you just want to go ahead and just leave a message.
Sounds good. Calling now.
Okay, great. And it looks like Thomas had some questions, but Kyle, you've addressed those. And yes, Thomas, we'll give you a call as soon as this is done. So there's that call ringing into my extension, which is my webinar user. I'm going to go ahead and just reject that. And so Kyle's going to leave a message. Okay, and once he leaves a message, by the way, so I'll just come back over here. Once he leaves a message, you're going to see a call actually come into my cell phone. It's actually not going to be coming into my mobile client here that I have running, because it's going to come into my physical cell phone itself. But
voicemail is on the way.
We just wanted to show you that. Okay, and you can see here that I have 3 voicemails now. So I've got this one here. Okay. And in just a moment, you're going to see my cell phone ring. So assuming that Kyle did turn it on.
Oh, it's on. Yeah, it's set for, it'll be coming in a minute.
It takes a minute or so, folks.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, so now I have that's the message alert outcalling. You can see we can dedicate what number that comes from. So what I've done is I've saved that number in my cell phone so that if I see that, I know what it is.
Training user.
You have 3 new messages and 6 saved messages. Please enter your password followed by the
Hey, Dan, it's Kyle. Give me a call back when you have a chance.
message deleted.
Hey, Dan, it's Kyle. Give me.
Message deleted.
Dan, I need help.
Message deleted. End of messages. Main menu. Press 1 for new messages.
Okay,
Press
but
2 for
I hope
old
you guys
messages.
get the
Press
idea.
3 to send
And I'll just go ahead and hang that up. And then the last thing that I want to do is just give me 1 second. I'm just going to pull up my email, and I'll show you what that email looks like.
Voicemail to email is my preference. I use that mostly.
Okay. So I received this email. Okay, and then you can see that I can see that it was to this user, and then I have the voicemail here. Here's the WAV file. I can listen to it. Dan, I need help now. Give me a call. Thanks. Bye. So, the idea here is that there's lots of different ways to be notified of these things, to be able to help, to cover each other, etc. So, with all that being said, I will jump out of here and stop sharing my screen. Okay, turn my camera back on.
All right. So yeah, so we have some success stories we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna go over by vertical.
Okay, so rather than pinpoint specific companies in this particular case, since we feel like voicemail is one of those things that pretty much every company is using, it's not like a unique feature of Votacall. And again, we've hinted at a couple of these as we've been going through the presentation, but you've got an executive and assistant relationship. We do a lot of, attorneys, law offices, private equity, hedge funds, etc. There's, let's see, architecture firms. I mean, there's a lot of folks who have an executive and admin relationship. It's also good for teams. So some of the things that you'll see there, I'll also explain what I mean by teams in a minute. But some of the things you see there that we're thinking about, features that apply in those particular scenarios, are, again, that ability to copy a voicemail message to somebody else. That ability to have the operator, right? So I could say, to reach my assistant or my admin, please press 0. And that person can dictate where that goes. Now, that same feature can be used on a team environment, right? So if you've got one person who's in sales and somebody calls in, for instance, we'll use Votacall in this case, but if you call into Votacall and you reach out to your salesperson, their message will actually say, I'm not available right now, please leave a message, or to reach a member of my core team, please press 0. So they dial 0 and that rings to a group. And that's very easy to set. So those are some of the things that you can do in the executive and admin relationships. Kyle, you want to go to the next one? So the next one is healthcare, and I think we spotlighted that when we talked about the new feature. Kyle kind of let the cat out of the bag there, but you have a lot of folks who use answering services. Or just want to make sure that somebody gets back to the person right away and they're unhappy with an answering service. I've been told over the years, and no judgment coming from me, but I've been told over the years that it's really hard to find an answering service. They can be quite costly, and a lot of the times the people who are answering the phone for you, not so concerned about your business. So one of the things that you can do is, just let your patients know, for instance, like if you leave a message, the doctor is going to call you right back. The doctor gets notified on the cell phone or on their home phone, or simultaneously to both, depending on who's on call. And they can listen to the message, call the patient back, open up Votacall Go, call the patient back. So that way they're in a good place there. They're seeing the work number come back out because they're using the Votacall Go mobile, but they're also receiving the call and making sure that they get it, right? So that's pretty important. And Kyle, if you want to go to the next one. So sales and service, on-call orgs, again, hitting on that same thing. Kyle, did we talk about Andy's favorite feature?
Oh, we went over it real briefly, but I'll let you dive right into that one.
All right. So, sales especially, or if you're in a service department somewhere, that ability to get notified on a missed call via email that you missed a phone call. So if you've got somebody who calls you 2-3 times in a row, really quickly, then I think that that's important to get notified of. So you get an email that says, this person called you, this person called you, this person called you. They don't leave a message. Well, how great is it that you can pick up the phone, call them back and say, hey, I just saw that you called me 3 times in a row, but didn't leave a message. Is everything okay? Great for realtors, great for lots of folks. On-call service people. We mentioned the maintenance person at an apartment complex. Okay, well, maybe they carry a cell phone. Somebody leaves a message, if it's at night, it answers, it says, please, if this is an emergency, please press 1. Well, not everybody's capable of really distinguishing what an emergency is. That's the first thing. Human nature suggests that problems can be emergencies on multiple different scales. So let's say somebody calls in and they're, they want to leave a message for the maintenance man that the smoke detector is going off or something along those lines. It won't stop beeping, right? Maintenance person probably doesn't want to answer that call live. So they leave a message, they get notified immediately, they listen to the message, they make a decision, do I need to call this person back right now, or can we wait until the morning type of thing? So again, you've allowed them to get notified of a message, and that's really where that outcalling can come into play. Alongside of, you're also going to get the voicemail in your email. So it's going to go to lots of different places. And a lot of times what will happen is the email will go to the service manager, but the outcalling will go to the on-call maintenance person. So you've got two notifications going to two different people in these types of scenarios. And then I think that was it, Kyle, right? So I will say this. I'm just going to jump in here. We've had a couple people just ping us here across the course of this. Just saying that, that they'd love to get set up in the portal. And I think that's great. And that's part of why we're doing this series. And it's great that you guys are asking about this stuff. A lot of times you get set up on your phone system, and in those moments, your project manager says, hey, I'd love to train you on stuff. And you're like, yeah. And, it moves off to the background, and you're just happy you just went through a phone switch over project, et cetera. So this is really a great time for us to reach out to our clients, touch base with them, and really show them all the things that they have available to them in at the My Votacall portal. And I think that it's great to see folks attending these, and we're really grateful for that. Okay.
Yep. I only hope that you guys learn and take things away from these as well. Here's a slide with our resources, and again, it's in that links tab. So if you click on the apps button at the bottom, you'll have a links tab, and you can click on those links there as well, and bring you right to these websites. And we thank you all for joining. If there's anything that you want to do a follow-up on, please submit a ticket to support@votacall.com, and then Sharon and Thomas, I'll reach out to you guys right after to get you set up in the portal.
Okay. And then Tracy will reach out as well, just to talk to you about getting that feature turned on. As always, thank you everybody for coming. Don't forget that you can always go rewatch these on our webpage. We really do appreciate your time, and thanks for being here with us.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.